Hi YouTube. Sorry for my appearance. I've got lovely acne going on and some chapped lips. Lovely signs of being 30, I guess. Today I thought I would do a video. I recorded something last night that I didn't really like. I didn't like how it turned out. So I think today I'm going to do a little bit of a scattered video. I have some things on my mind I want to share and kind of update you guys on how I've been doing since my last video. But I also thought to start, I would do a little bit of a Twilight collection video. So if you're not into that, you can skip ahead. This is for Twilight fans. Last year, or actually this past year, I got into fandom pins and I collect them right now. I thought about maybe doing my own business with them, but I'm not really sure how to get started with that. So I'm not really sure when or if I'll have the time to do that. But if I do, obviously people will know. I'll make sure that it's well known. But I collect primarily Twilight pins. So I'm going to show you guys some of my collection. And I've got a board that is on the way that somebody made me that I'm going to have room for now for the pins that I can't pin right now. The board I currently have in my room to display these I made, and it's maxed out, and I'm trying to make a board for each of the books / films. I'm either going to make some myself or I might have them all made. I haven't decided yet. I'm going to look at how the one I have coming is made and then go from there and see if I'm able to do it myself. So let me go ahead and show you what I have that isn't on my board, and then I'll take you into my room and we'll see what I have displayed on my board. Okay, so here are all the pins I have out that I cannot currently put on my board I have, and I will show you guys what my board looks like right after we're done looking at these. These two are amazing. I bought them together because they showcase the wedding scene perfectly. And this is what these are. They're enamel pins. You put them on boards, you display them. You can put them in an Ita bag that actually shows them up front. I don't like to do that because I'm hard on things. So I would much rather just display these. And they're very intricate and large. And so they're not like your average button that you would design to display on something. So I usually just put these on boards. But yeah, these are amazing. I can't wait to display these. This next pin is an umbrella with the baseball background, kind of from Twilight, the baseball scene. It's got the trees and lightning in the background, and it also has raindrops hanging from it. And it's the title of this pin is How You Liking the Rain, Girl. And you can get these on Instagram. A lot of the shop owners I bought these from have their own shops on Instagram, and in the bios are links to the shops to get these, and I can put in the description some of the shops that I got these from down below so that you can go on Instagram and check them out. They're really cool. In fact, here's one card, for example, Misty Meadows pins. That's who made this, and this pin. So this is Bella through Jacob's Wolf Eye. And then we have the New Moon Shot, which they call this pin the Lovers. And then I have a Meadow Scene. This is the Sunlight variant. So some of these come in different colors and variants. I got the Sunlight variant of this pin. So basically it's shiny and it's kind of imitating the part where the sun comes on Edward's face and makes him sparkle. So I got the sparkle version of that one. Here are a couple I got on a Black Friday sale. This is Jenna Land Creations. So there's another account for you if you're interested. These are the baseball guys from the baseball scene. So we've got Emmett and Jasper. Jasper's bat actually spins around, kind of like when he spins it around in the movie, and I think that's so cool. Here I have Bella being carried back into the house by her dad. And I love this pin. I forget what it's called. Out of the Woods. So LE is limited edition. So a lot of these they don't run very many of. So because it's expensive to make these. So you have to kind of be on the sales when you want them. This is Bella's depression scene. So this is like a 2-tiered pin. And it came from Xanadu Pins. So there's another account for you to check out. The background spins around throughout the months of her depression. And if you're a Twilight fan, you understand that and you know that scene very well. So read the books and watch the movies if you're not sure what that is, because I am not going to spoil it for those that are not privy to Twilight. So now I'm going to take you guys into my room to look at what my board looks like now. And when I get my new one in and I have it all set up and I have all my Twilight pins on it, I will show that in a different video. Okay guys, so there is a lot to look at here. This board I made by myself. It is a cork board basically, and I just took some fabric that was forested and blue and green and just kind of glued that fabric on the back of it. Nothing fancy. It doesn't look like all the fancy ones that everybody does. I'm going to learn how to make a fancy one. A lot of people will use picture frames, or they'll put cork in a picture frame and they'll cover it with felt or high-end fabric, and that's what I'm going to try to do for myself. But right now, this is my only board I have, and it is in movie order. Some of it got out of order because, again, I'm out of space. So once I get my Twilight board, all of my pins from the first movie will go on that board, and I will make room for other pins on this board until I make another board that will be for, I think at that point will be for New Moon. I'll need a New Moon board at that point. So we'll start here at the very top. You've got the City of Forks and you've got Bella's truck. Some of these I got as extras because these are small businesses, and sometimes they will put extras in your package, especially if you're a first-time buyer. So I got some of these extra, but it's kind of like the beginning of the scene where she moves to Forks and meets Edward, and then they get closer. I love this pen, and then there's some apples from Xanadu pens that have some scenes in them. Some of these I also bought secondhand, so if you go to Mercari or Poshmark, you will find some of these for sale, and you can make offers to sellers and get them cheaper if you want. These are expensive. They take a lot to manufacture, and they take a long time to arrive. So when you order these, don't expect them to come in like a week. Sometimes they take months to a year to arrive. So there's pins that I've ordered like over a few months ago that I still haven't received yet, and they're being made. And usually the seller will put you in a group chat and keep you updated on the pin status. So you'll have plenty of updates from the sellers. It's definitely not a scam. It just takes a long time for these to be made. And they will also post updates in the chats of where things are in the manufacturing process. But I've got a Cullen jersey, the baseball scene, and I have the prom, a couple things from the prom, and 2 baseball pins, again, from Jenna Land. And Mystical Pins does a lot of the pins that I have in my collection as well. These are both from Dusk Till Dawn. That's from Dusk Till Dawn, and this is a Xanadu pin. You just have to get on their websites to see which pins are from where. This pin's kind of like a snow globe. The glitter flies around in it if you pick it up and shake it. It's pretty cool. I do think the humidity kind of made the water recede a little bit in it though, but that's okay. It's still a cool pin, and I like it anyway. And that's something that they can't help as a seller for that to happen. It's just the changes in temperatures and stuff like that. This is when they go to the movie. And a lot of these, I'm sorry, with the lighting, they have gold in them, so it's kind of hard to see the full design when it hits the light just right. This is when Bella discovers he's a werewolf, Jacob, and when she rides the bikes. I've got a Jacob pin coming to go with that, actually, that I bought on sale for Cyber Monday. They do sales sometimes as well, so if you follow them on Instagram, they'll tell you when they're running a sale. Here's some Eclipse shots. I really love these. And then these are the bracelet charms that she gets from the bracelet in the movie. This is a silhouette pin that I'm going to put on a Twilight board. I just don't have room yet. I just got this in today. This is another wedding pin that I am absolutely in love with. It came from Dusk Till Dawn. I also bought her wedding hand. This is Bella's hand and her ring and part of her dress. I got her shoe. This came from Xanadu pins. This is from the wedding when she dances with Jacob. This is a honeymoon scene. And I do have some spicy pins coming that are not for young eyes. They are part of the spicy scenes that go with this movie. Because, you know, if you're a Twilight fan, there are spicy scenes. So we have pins that cover those particular scenes. This is a silhouette of Bella and Edward. And this is when Edward can read Renesmee's mind. And then this was a fan-made photo that they actually made a pin out of that I was lucky enough to find a reseller to buy. So if you ever come across a pin that's sold out on the websites, you can always put a search out on your Instagram story, or you can always look around at resellers, people that maybe own the pin that could offer you a deal on it. Like this one I bought from somebody that was selling it, that it already sold out on the original website, and I was dying to have it, and I'm so glad I found it. I had the sticker for the longest time. And here's one where Bella's hugging her dad. This is part of the battle scene. But yeah, this is my board. This is what it looks like zoomed out. So yeah, now let's get into the business of some other things that I want to share with you. But I thought I would start off with my pin collection. So hopefully you enjoyed that. Okay, I thought I would talk to you guys next to my Christmas tree. There's my tree. I might do a video showcasing all of my Christmas decor. I don't know. I've done that already before, so I don't know if I want to do that again. Not much has changed since that last video. Maybe small things here and there. I don't always get out the same things every year, but yeah, so I'm having good days and bad days. I'm going on week 3 of not talking to the guy that dumped me. And it's been hard because out of all the guys that I've ever dated, he was the one that wasn't toxic, that I put a lot of hope and promise into. And I just feel defeated and shut down and feel like it's just out of reach to find somebody decent that wants to stay and wants something serious and shares my faith and values, because he came the closest out of all of them. And I really didn't want it to end. And no, we didn't do anything to get closer physically, but that wasn't the point. I still got attached to him. I liked cooking for him. I liked spending time with him. And, you know, I've kind of felt lost since he left. And I'm not just grieving that. I'm like in a really weird season where God is putting me in a period of isolation. And I'm grieving not only that, but I'm grieving watching my grandfather suffer from lung cancer. And it's been hard to watch. And I know that God is probably preparing me for the inevitable on that, and that's hard for me to take. And I also have friends that aren't really my friends, and I feel like my circle is getting smaller, and I have to exercise boundaries that I am not ready to exercise. And I have this particular friend that on several occasions has made false promises to me on getting together, and she moved out of the state, and I have only met one of her sons. I was with her throughout that stage of her life. I went to her wedding. I watched her meet the guy that she ended up marrying, and I just feel like I'm being put by the wayside. And it's not necessarily her fault, but a lot of the friends I see her hanging out with are married and have kids, and I'm not. And I just feel kind of put by the wayside because of that. And she's done this several times, and with me dealing with everything else that I'm going through, it's been really hard this go around to deal with. Like, she was here for Thanksgiving, which was last week, and she was here for a whole week and told me that she would text me back and didn't. And I caught her on social media hanging out with other people and hanging out with other friends. And it's like, if you've got time to hang out with them, why aren't you trying to find time to hang out with me? You've not seen me in like years. It's been years since I hung out with her. In fact, I think the last time I saw her, it was probably her first son's first birthday. I think that was the last time I saw her, now that I think about it. And I just feel sad because I like to show up for people. I like to give people 100%, even when they don't give it back to me. And it's hard for me to have boundaries, and it's hard for me to be the bad guy. I don't want to be. And this is like the worst time of year to be going through all the things that I'm going through. Like, I love this time of year. And this particular time of year, or this particular year, you know, I had a full year. It was a nice year, but it ended with a plot twist that has left me hurt and devastated. And I don't know how to get out of it. Like, I love this time of year, and this particular year, I am not in the spirit. I barely even want to do things with my elf, and I always do things with my elf, and it's all I can do to get Christmas presents for everyone. And I know that's not the point of the season, but I like to give, and I like to do it up, and I like to go big or go home every year, and I just don't feel it this year because I'm just going through so much, and I can't understand why God is isolating me. I know it's for my ultimate protection, but it's been really hard. Like, I really, really thought that my searching for my partner was going to be over. I literally thought he was going to be in my life, and my heart's still broken, and it still hurts, and I don't know that I want to let other people in, and it's hard for me to let people in because I'm tired of temporary people. I'm tired of guys coming in and either being so toxic that I have to walk away in order to have sanity, or they walk away from me for whatever reason because I guess I scare them with whatever it is I provide, and they're not really as equipped for something serious as they claim. And this guy matched me on everything, and I'm just devastated that he decided there was no connection, even though I felt like there was at the beginning, and it's been really hard to swallow. And I know it has nothing to do with me. He told me I was pretty, and he said all these wonderful things, but he also said that he felt like something was wrong with him, and I tried to make him not feel so bad, and I said that there's nothing wrong with him, and deep down I know that you can't force someone to feel what they simply don't feel, and if they're going through a lot of things, it is hard for them to feel what they should feel or need to feel about something, and there's nothing I can do about it. I still am connected to him on social media. I haven't talked to him, though. It's been over 3 weeks. I just don't have the heart to completely close the door. I don't feel like it's finished, and I'm wrestling with God on it, and I don't know. I'm just really sad, and I go through periods where I'm tempted to reach out, but I don't. And there's times where I secretly hope that he will reach out one day and maybe realize this was a mistake. And it's disheartening to know that you've done everything you could possibly do, and you're breaking cycles in your family. You're going to therapy. You're going to the gym. You're taking care of yourself inside and out, and you're trying to become a better person, not just for other people, but for yourself, because you don't want to repeat cycles in your family. And I'm doing everything. I'm doing everything you can possibly think of to do, and I'm staying in tune with God, and I spend time with him every day in my Bible, and I do devotionals and journal, and it's not like I'm not doing anything. And it's like every time I put myself out there, I end up getting hurt, or when I don't put myself out there, I end up getting hurt too. I get hurt either way. I get hurt because I get overwhelmed with loneliness, and friends are hard to come by these days, and you're lucky if you have any that are there for you for everything, because I feel like sometimes the people I surround myself with can be really selfish and only want validation for themselves, and they don't want to take the time to authentically figure out how they can help me or show up for me like I show up for them. And it's sad, and that's what I'm running into these days, and I feel like I have hardly any friends in a really small circle. And I know that that's partially not true. I have a lot of really good people that I've met through my church that are wonderful and have done beautifully at keeping in touch with me and doing things and making me feel better. I have a girlfriend that lives down the road from me that I would do anything for. I know she would do anything for me, and we are in a similar life chapter, and that's what's bonded us and brought us closer. So I'm at least thankful for that. You know, and she reached out to me over Thanksgiving, and I appreciated that a lot. And I know I've got who I need to have. God is going to give me who I need to have. It's just hard for me to trust and believe that I have a partner out there. I have another half out there. You know, I'm starting to lose hope because I have a track record of toxic relationships. I have a track record of being dumped. I have a track record of everything. And, you know, I'm stronger now because I can sit here and talk about it and not cry. But trust me, there are days where I just want to curl up in a ball and just sleep until I no longer remember what I don't want to remember anymore. And like the other day, I had a bad dream about him and it messed me up for the whole day. Like, it was about loss, and it ended up with me chasing him and getting into a car with him and then losing him when we parked in front of a store. And it was just a whole thing. And there's more to that. It's just, that's all I can remember at the moment. But I'm not just grieving the loss of a potential relationship. I'm grieving several things. There's a lot of layers to it. And that's what most people don't see. They think I'm just grieving the loss of a brief relationship. And that's not the case. There's a lot of layers to it that just added to it. That's just a facet of what I'm dealing with. And it's really disheartening. And I'm hoping that maybe God maybe separated us temporarily. That's my secret hope and prayer. And that maybe one day he'll bring us back together. But if he doesn't, I'm trying to also trust that maybe it's because God has something better in mind and that he's protecting me because he can see what's going to happen 10 years down the road if I stayed where I was. I don't know. I do know I deserve to have somebody that can show up for me like I show up for them. And I deserve somebody that is emotionally intelligent and won't run away or be scared or freaked out by labels, and won't be scared or freaked out by strong emotions, and won't push me away when I ask important questions. And I'm kind of grateful that I asked the question that I did when I did, because I don't know what would have happened if I brought him to Thanksgiving and it blew up in my face afterwards. I think the pain would have been a lot deeper than it is now. But yeah, I guess that's all I want to say. That's all I have to say right now for this video. I'll keep you guys updated and I'll post more soon. What I recorded last night, I just did not like. And I tried to put an image over me because I didn't really like how I looked and my lips were really bad. And I just didn't want to show that. So I just decided to delete it and do this instead. Hopefully it's not too boring. Hopefully you enjoyed my pins. I'll continue to keep in touch and post updates as I have them. It's just for right now, I'm just kind of trying to still show up places and for people, even when I don't feel like it, because I know in the long run it benefits me too, not just them. And I've got plans this weekend, and at least it keeps me from sitting in the house and being antisocial, because that's what my inkling is to want to do when I'm going through these kinds of things. But I appreciate the prayers for those of you that pray, and I appreciate the subscribers and the likes, and I'll continue to post a variety of content. I'm not a expert video maker, editor by any means, so bear with me as I post amateur content. But I appreciate you guys, and I'll keep you updated. I'm doing okay. I'm hanging in there, and I'm taking things one day at a time. It's all I can do, and I'm praying, and I'm trying to trust God with whatever's happening. So it's all I can do. It's all we all can do. So I will talk to you guys more soon. For now, I'm going to sign off.